in light of escalating global conflicts like the Ukraine-Russia war and Israel-Gaza tensions. Military strength remains crucial in international affairs. This video offers an in-depth look at the military capabilities of top 10 countries. Let's begin. Number 10, Italy. Population 60 million. Military rank 10th. Defense budget $30 billion. Active and reserves personnel 350,000. Armed forces, armored vehicles 7,000. Combat tanks 200. Towed artillery 500. Self-propelled artillery 200. Rocket launchers 50. Air Force, aircraft 800. Fighter aircraft 150. Attack aircraft 50. Helicopters 250. Attack helicopters 50. Mission aircraft 100. Transport aircraft 150. Trainer aircraft 100. Aerial tankers 10. Naval force. Destroyers 4. Frigates 12. Corvettes 0. Submarines 8. Aircraft carriers 2. Helicopter carriers 3. Mine warfare 10. Offshore patrol 20. Nuclear weapons 000. Airports 120. Ports and terminals 70. Roadways 487,000 kilometers. Railways 24,000 kilometers. Waterways 2,400 kilometers. Number 9, Turkey. Population 84 million. Military rank 9th. Defense budget $20 billion. Active and reserves personnel 1.1 million. Armed force, armored vehicles 10,000. Combat tanks 3,000. Towed artillery 1,200. Self-propelled artillery 600. Rocket launchers 800. Air Force, aircraft 1,200. Fighter aircraft 200. Attack aircraft 100. Helicopters 300. Attack helicopters 50. Mission aircraft 100. Transport aircraft 200. Trainer aircraft 100. Aerial tankers 10. Naval force. Destroyers 0. Frigates 8. Corvettes 12. Submarines 12. Aircraft carriers 0. Helicopter carriers 1. Mine warfare 5. Offshore patrol 15. Nuclear weapons 000. Airports 100. Ports and terminals 50. Roadways 66,000 kilometers. Railways 12,000 kilometers. Waterways 1,200 kilometers. Number 8. Pakistan. Population 225 million. Military rank 8. Defense budget $12 billion. Active and reserves personnel 1.4 million. Armed forces, armored vehicles 7,000. Combat tanks 2,200. Towed artillery 1,000. Self-propelled artillery 300. Rocket launchers 500. Air Force aircraft 1,000. Fighter aircraft 200. Attack aircraft 100. Helicopters 200. Attack helicopters 50. Mission aircraft 100. Transport aircraft 200. Trainer aircraft 100. Aerial tankers 5. Naval force. Destroyers 0. Frigates 10. Corvettes 0. Submarines 8. Aircraft carriers 0. Helicopter carriers 0. Mine warfare 3. Offshore patrol 15. Nuclear weapons 165. Airports 150. Ports and terminals 50. Roadways 263 3,000 kilometers. Railways 11,000 kilometers. Waterways 1,000 kilometers. Number 7, France. Population 67 million. Military rank 7. Defense budget $55 billion. Active and reserves personnel 415,000. Armed force, armored vehicles 6,000. Combat tanks 300. Towed artillery 400. Self-propelled artillery 200. Rocket launchers 100. Air Force, aircraft 1,200. Fighter aircraft 200. Attack aircraft 100. Helicopters 300. Attack helicopters 50. Mission aircraft 100. Transport aircraft 200. Trainer aircraft 100. Aerial tankers 20. Naval force, destroyers 4. Frigates 11. Corvettes 0. Submarines 10. Aircraft carriers 1. Helicopter carriers 3. Mine warfare 5. Offshore patrol 15. Nuclear weapons 300. Airports 450. Ports and terminals 150. Roadways 1.1 million kilometers. Railways 29,000 kilometers. Waterways 8,500 kilometers. Number 6. South Korea, population 52 million. Military rank 6th. Defense budget $45 billion. Active and reserves personnel 5.8 million. Armed forces. Armed vehicles 6,000. Combat tanks 2,500. Towed artillery 2,000. Self-propelled artillery 1,500. Rocket launchers 1,000. Air Force. Aircraft 1,600. Fighter aircraft 300. Attack aircraft 100. Helicopters 200. Attack helicopters 50. Mission aircraft 100. Transport aircraft 200. Trainer aircraft 100. Aerial tankers 10. Naval force. Destroyers 10. Frigates 20. Corvettes 10. Submarines 20. Aircraft carriers 0. Helicopter carriers 1. Mine warfare 5. Offshore patrol 10. Nuclear weapons 000 airports 100. Ports and terminals 50. Roadways 104,000 kilometers. Railways 4,000 kilometers. Waterways 1,600 kilometers. Number 5. United Kingdom, population 67 million. Military rank 5th. Defense budget $60 billion. Active and reserves personnel 280,000. Armed forces, armored vehicles 8,000. Combat tanks 200. Towed artillery 300. Self-propelled artillery 150. Rocket launchers 100 RDAD. Air Force craft 1,200. Fighter aircraft 200. Attack aircraft 100. Helicopters 300. Attack helicopters 50. Mission aircraft 100. Transport aircraft 200. Trainer aircraft 100. Aerial tankers 20. Naval force. Destroyers 6. Frigates 13. Corvettes 0. Submarines 10. Aircraft carriers, helicopter carriers 0. Mine warfare 3. Offshore patrol 20. Nuclear weapons 225. Airports 400. Ports and terminals 120. Roadway 394,000 kilometers. Railways 16,000 kilometers. Waterways 3,200 kilometers. Number 4. India. Population 1.3 billion. Military rank 4th. Defense budget $70 billion. Active and reserves personnel 2.5 million. Armed forces. Armored vehicles 14,000. Combat tanks 4,000. Towed artillery 2,200. Self-propelled artillery 1,000. Rocket launchers 1,200. Air Force. Aircraft 2,300. Fighter aircraft 400. Attack aircraft 400. Helicopters 700. Attack helicopters 100. Mission aircraft 300. Transport aircraft 500. Trainer aircraft 200. Aerial tankers 10. Naval force destroyers 10. Frigates 15. Corvettes 20. Submarines 15. Aircraft carriers 1. Helicopter carriers 0. Mine warfare 5. Offshore patrol 25. Nuclear weapons 160. Airports 450. Ports and terminals 200. Roadways 1.8 million kilometers. Railways 68,000 kilometers. Waterways 14,500 kilometers. Number 3. Russia. Population 144 million. Military rank 3rd. Defense budget $65 billion. Active and reserves personnel 3.2 million. Armed force. Armored vehicles 27,000. Combat tanks 12,000. Towed artillery 4,000. Self-propelled artillery 3,500. Rocket launchers 2,000. Air Force. Aircraft 3,000. Fighter aircraft 800. Attack aircraft 300. Helicopters 1,000. Attack helicopters 300. Mission aircraft 400. Transport aircraft 800. Trainer aircraft 300. Aerial tankers 50. Naval force. Destroyers 15. Frigates 30. Corvettes 40. Submarines 70. Aircraft carriers 1. Helicopter carriers 0. Mine warfare 10. offshore patrol 40, nuclear weapons 5,580, airports 1,200, ports and terminals 120, roadways 1.3 million kilometers, railways 87,000 kilometers, waterways 102,000 kilometers. Number 2, China. Population 1.4 billion. Military rank second. Defense budget $250 billion. Active and reserves personnel 2.2 million. People's Liberation Army. Armored vehicles 35,000, combat tanks 5,800. Towed artillery 2,000. Self-propelled artillery 1,200. Rocket launchers 2,500. Air Force. Aircraft 4,000. Fighter aircraft 1,000. Attack aircraft 400. Helicopters 900. Attack helicopters 200. Mission aircraft 600. Transport aircraft 1,200. Trainer aircraft 500. Aerial tankers 50. Naval force. Destroyers 40. Frigates 50. Corvettes 30. Submarines 70. Aircraft carriers 2. Helicopter carriers 0. Mine warfare 20. Offshore patrol 70. Nuclear weapons 400. Airports 500. Ports and terminals 250. Roadways 4.8 million kilometers. Railways 139,000 kilometers. Waterways 110,000 kilometers. Number 1, United States. Population 330 million. Military rank first. Defense budget $750 billion. Active and reserves personnel 2.3 million. Armed force. Armored vehicles 40,000. Combat tanks 6,000. Towed artillery 1,800. Self-propelled artillery 1,600. Rocket launchers 2,000. Air Force. Aircraft 13,000. Fighter aircraft 2,500. Attack aircraft 800. Helicopters 5,000. Attack helicopters 1,200. Mission aircraft 1,500. Transport aircraft 5,000. Trainer aircraft 1,200. Aerial tankers 500. Naval force. Destroyers 90. Frigates 20. Corvettes 0. Submarines 70. Aircraft carriers 11. Helicopter carriers 10. Mine warfare 15. Offshore patrol 50. Nuclear weapons 5,044. Airports 13,000. Ports and terminals 350. Roadways 6.5 million kilometers. Railways 225,000 kilometers. Waterways 41,000 kilometers.